Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Lip, and I'm back with a little more painting, doing my usual thing. Late at night, getting ready to go to bed, actually here in just a few minutes, and I wanted to get the shading done on these guys really quick before I went to bed, and maybe start on the blitzers. We'll have to see if we're going to do that. Still working on my adjustments, making sure I'm staying in frame and all the other good stuff, and we'll zoom in a little bit as needed. But if you guys remember, we had finished painting the basic gist on these guys, and now we're going to hit them with the wash. And the wash is what really will take you from that basic look of just blocking out your primary colors to that, oh wow, you're a professional painter type stuff without having to actually do a whole lot of effort. Now, there is a step you can go to after the wash. I tend not to worry about it too much, depending on the model. It really just depends on how many or how like detailed I'm trying to go with it. If it's more of a hero type model, like a single character for something like Warhammer Blackstone Quest, those I will, go to the end, like as much as I can do on the detail. And what I'm talking about is you can do a little bit of highlighting on top of your shading just to try to make those little bits stand out just a little bit more. So like around here in the rib cage area, maybe in the jawbone or the hands and the knees, you come back with a little bit of that base color and you just barely kind of dry brush that on, and it'll make those colors pop again, bring them out just a little bit more, and give you a more of a distinguished look between the recessed areas where the shade is and the actual model itself, the highlighted areas. I'm not worrying it too much on these guys since this is Blood Bowl. It's going to be a whole team, and for the most part, you're going to be looking down on them anyway, so not a huge deal. Now let's find our right tone. Here we go. We're going to be using our strong tone. Remember, I like the dark brown for these guys when we're doing our wash. So let's shake it up a little bit. And wash, I don't worry about putting in ball bearings, and the stuff's already so loose. It's similar to an ink, but it's not an ink. All right, so inks do kind of more like a painting. Washes tend to hit the recess, but you can definitely see that they darken, and they darken a little more than I would prefer. I wish it would stay more to just the recesses. Now, I'm sure there are some washes out there that will do that, but none that I find. Usually they will change that base color on you at least a little bit. I've seen some people trying to make washes, and I've tried it a few times, not had a whole lot of success. Oh, what I use here when it comes to my washes and my dry brushing for that matter, you got to have that one brush that's just beat all to hell, right? Doesn't matter if the bristles are everywhere, if it's got paint matted in it, dried from, decades of use, whatever it is. You want that really beat up brush, because when it comes to dry brushing, you're going to just be pounding it into the, whatever it is, your palette. And I found when it comes to washing the models as well, I really don't have to take and use a decent brush. Now, sometimes I will, if I'm trying to wash just specific areas with different colors of wash, but we're going to hit this guy with the same color wash all over, so I'm not worrying about it. So let's start here on the bottom and just start dragging that wash across. And you guys can see it's already darkening up, but especially like look there in the knees, you see where the little bit of kneecap is, that little bit of bone separation. It's really starting to stand out now. With that, grab a little more wash. I like to hit it with a lot of wash in areas where it's really going to pop, like the rib cage here, the hands, all the areas that have those recesses that you're really trying to focus on. And you don't have to worry about being overly careful with your wash unless, like I said, you're doing multiple colors. It just depends on your model. You just want to make sure and kind of hit it all over so you don't have any missing spots. and use your brush to kind of move it around and not let it pool up in any one area. I want it to pull up in these ribs, like in between these ribs, because those are what I want to stand out. I'm trying to get that, but that's kind of pulling it back up. Let's see if we can put a little more in there. Get those guys to stand out. All right, that's looking a little better. You see how it's flowed now better in between the ribs, made it real dark along the spine itself. I don't want to darken up things too much, just where it needs it. And it really does bring it out. Now, of course, this isn't perfect. This isn't like the best techniques you'll ever see, but you know, I think it does all right. These little eye holes, I find they can get a significant amount of wash in, so you make sure to not put too much on those. Get in there in his guts real good. Make sure I get all these little areas. The base of the hands here, base of the arms, upper arm bone. And just keep going around, keep moving that around. This left rib cage here is not holding the wash as well. I'm finding might have to come back and hit that one twice. We'll have to see how that goes. I feel kind of like an old man right now. I'm having to wear glasses so I can see a little bit better when I'm reading manuals now and painting. I was reading a manual. I was actually, if you guys are into the kind of create your own war game with stuff like, or create your own scenario with, oh crap, the Hunters, the Hunted, Silent Victory, those type of games. The name eluded me there for a sec. I'm getting ready to cover one in a similar vein, which is going to be the Zeppelin Radar. So if you guys are into that, stay tuned to the channel. I will have that up as soon as I can. But I was reading the rule book, and now I have to use glasses to read the small-ass damn print that they have those rule books. It's pissing me off. It's like, I'm not old yet. Don't do this to me. But eyesight's starting to give on me a little bit. It's all right, though. I'll keep kicking. I think we got a pretty good job on this guy. A little bit here on the bone. And I'm going to take and start fast forwarding in a few places as well. I might not always talk through the whole thing. Just depends on what feedback I get from you guys. Because I've seen that technique used in some other videos where whoever's painting will work on a certain spot and they'll speed it up 2 or 3 times. So you're not having to watch it in real time. That might help you guys as well. So you don't have to watch me do the whole thing and you can just see the kind of the techniques that I'm using, which aren't exactly great, but they work. All right, so not too bad. I think we're looking good there. Let's pull this guy off. We'll let him start to dry. And then we'll pick this one up. Get him on my hold up here. I've got some neat stuff I'm actually going to try painting here soon. And that is the 3D printed terrain that I've got for Blackstone Fortress. So really good game, also by Games Workshop. I actually recently acquired the expansion for Blackstone Fortress. Actually, let me make sure I got the back of his little thing. Yep, right here. Oop, got that because the color changes. I recently got the expansion. It's called Escalation. It adds a bunch of new explorer type characters. We need some more wash. Put some more on my little palette over here. But it adds more explorers. It adds a lot more of everything. Actually, some more enemies, more missions. Why is this not coming out? There it goes. My wash wasn't coming out of my container for some reason. Starting to dry up a little bit. But it's all right. Still like Army Painter. It's good stuff. You guys let me know down in the comments what your favorite paint is. Is it Army Painter? Is it Citadel? Is it Reaper? What do you guys like to use? All right, so I'm going to be quiet for a second, get this washed up, and try my fast forwarding technique. Alright, so we got them washed up here. Got the wash and shader put on. I think they're looking pretty good now. You guys can see they're pretty well done. They're going to look good on the table when these guys dry up, and that definitely sinks into the recesses a little bit more, so that color isn't going to stand out quite as much. It's going to dull, and you'll see the end result, like I've again showed you on these guys, what they end up looking like. And I still think it comes out pretty good. Like I said, you can go back across these guys using the original base color, since this is now darker, and just barely like hit some of these areas. If you want it to be highlighted for a certain reason, like some people, the way I've seen some do it, and I've been interested in trying this, is so say they prime the whole model in black, they would take just a spray can and decide, okay, I want it to be highlighted lighter in a certain direction, kind of like the light or the sun shining on the model from that direction. So say they were wanting it to be in this direction, like that, they would take the spray can of white primer and spray just a few mists down in this direction. So it would just hit a few pieces of the model here, right? Just mist down, and then all the bottom would still be the black primer. And like I was telling you guys, the difference between white primer and black primer really does have a big effect. So that would naturally give the model that highlighted look, just in the difference on how the colors are shown on top of each of the different primers. And then you can do the stuff like I was talking about, highlighting it after you've shaded it. But that is, like I said, not something I'm going to worry about with these models, because I just want to get them decent and table ready. I'm really looking forward to getting some more time with Blood Bowl. Really love that game. I got to finish some of these other coins I've got started. I went ahead and painted the blue on there on that one just because I had blue paint left over and I didn't want to waste the paint. I am very much against waste. Here you guys can see that's what I'm going to go for on the balls. The hand, I am not going to have anywhere near that. You can see that's like the bluish metal look that they went with. I just do not have anything that's going to be that close for all of these guys. I'm not that good to be able to put flames or anything on, so I went with a solid like rusty iron look instead. So any part of these models that has that look, that type of metal, I went with my metal instead, just because I am not good enough to pull that off yet. Maybe one day, but it won't be today. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do for the edge of these coins. Maybe some type of brass or gold. I'm not entirely sure. And the balls look like they're bone and then metal, so I'll probably do it that way. Metal with bone and then metal with rotten flesh in some of the balls. I do like how they have the balls set up, though. Let's see if I can get to where you guys can see it. See how some of them have the little peg here? That's actually what goes into, find one of the dry ones, into the base. So after you've got your models done and you're on the field playing the game, you can just plug the ball right into them to signify which character has the ball. Really like that they did it that way. I am going to base these guys. Now, normally I don't base, but I think I'm going to base them and do it like I did all the others, which is just a solid green. So it kind of matches the field. I think that's going to work for them. And then we ended up taking, and I find that this really helps to distinguish the different models, is just to number them. Take a little bit of white paint and paint numbers on them. All right, doesn't matter what the number is, but just give each one of them an individual number. We did that. I think this has like 12 models or 16 models. I forget how many models. Actually, let's count it. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, so 14 models. We just numbered them 1 through 14. That way we could tell if number 6 ended up taking a injury or a wound. I mean, these guys aren't going to have to worry about it. They've got regeneration. But if they took that, then we could get them fixed up. All right, so we've got a couple more skeletons left. I don't know how long this has been going on. 60 minutes. I might just start this up because I'm going to fast forward this a little bit and put a little bit on this. And A hair got on it when I was priming it. So horrible. Look at that. I've got a box outside that I prime these guys in, and I will put them all in the box and then hit them with a primer. Let me make sure that didn't mess it up any. Evidently there was a hair in the box. Because yeah, you don't want to prime inside if you can avoid it. You know, the whole aerosol can thing. Not to mention messing up your house and pissing off the wife thing. Alright, so this is going to be the next guy that we're going to be doing. They are here. That's a right? Is that how you pronounce that? W-I-G-H-T. Gotta be a white. White? Yeah, white. White, right? The right white? Man, dumb shit. So, wow, they've got like really white bones too. These guys look like they've got greener bones. I'm going to stick with the same bone color. But it looks like they've got gloves on too. But I don't see any gloves on this guy. I'm not seeing it. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay. Yeah, if you guys can see it, it's right there. There's a little line for his gloves. Why the hell a skeleton needs gloves, I don't know. And I think it's kind of hard to see, and I'm wearing the old man glasses too, and I can barely see this. It looks like the line's right about there on the backside for the gloves. Oh, and these guys too, man, they were a pain in the butt because these skulls with the little wings on them, knee pieces, they were separate pieces as well. Because of course they were. And it's like, why do you do that to me, GW? Don't do that shit. Alright, so they've got the gloves. We're going to do the blue cloth. It looks like they've got blue cloth on their wrist, but I did that as brown for the connecting. So I might end up reversing that so I stay kind of on point with my color scheme, because my color scheme is a little different. You guys can tell from what theirs is, obviously. But I might reverse that and have the brown there connecting so it's the same as all these guys. Have the blue be their glove pieces. And then the rest of it should be similar. That burnt iron there. They've got pink in the wings. I'm not going to do that. I am definitely not going to do that. I am probably going to do the same thing for him. A blue helmet. Do the silver for the little horn. Do the silver for the wings. And then just do blue everywhere else. Give me a uniform color. So yeah, they won't be too bad. It just looks like they have more cloth to worry about around the waist and the hands than these characters did. But they're different. They got to stand out a little bit. Pain in the butt. Changing things up on me. I don't know which way we're going to go with it. And you guys can see it. I forgot to get a little paint out of the base of this brush. And now it's sticking a little bit. Oof. I'm going to have to try that. Okay. Show you guys here. This is my mix of my solution. This is that stuff that eats paint, which I still have forgotten to bring on camera because it's in the other room and I can't go wake the baby where the baby is, but let's see if this works. And this is a mix. This is maybe 10-20% that solution and the rest water. Because I was originally going to try to have it to where I was using this crap, like instead of just a water cup, I would use this stuff to rinse off my brushes in between painting stuff. But it was leaving some of that solution, and I was like eating the paint off of the models that I was trying to paint. And I was like, oh no, I can't do that. That's a real bad idea. So, but this stuff is really good. I will make a note of it. I'll try to put it down in the description so you guys know what it is that I'm using. But it does a real good job of eating all paint. Like I said, you can just take and leave your paintbrush like that overnight if you have some that has like some really gunked on paint that's been stuck there for a while. And then after you use this stuff, use the brush cleaner and leave the soap on it to help reform the bristles, and just leave it overnight, right? So leave it one night here with the cleaner to really eat that stuff off, and then shape it with the brush cleaner on the next night, and you might be able to repair the brush. And there you go. Look at that. brush is, here, make sure I got it in camera. Look at that. Good as new. Working great. Just like that. So that stuff, it works well. It'll eat that paint right off and get it out of the quick of your models. So let's wash this stuff off. I don't want to eat that up. And actually, I'll tell you what, since we're a few minutes on, we will pause here. That way I can just pick up with painting these guys. We'll get them painted, and then after that, it is the fleshy guys left. So we got these ghouls, a couple of ghouls, and then 4 zombies left to do after that. But like I said, I've got other stuff to paint now. I've always got a little something that I'm working on that I'm painting, and it's going to be the escalation set, which is going to be just phenomenal. I might do a video unboxing that, and normally I don't do unboxings, but this set is just so cool looking. It's got so many awesome things in it. Like I said, I love the GW box sets. I think they've really done good with those games. All right, but yeah, we're going to pause it here. You guys, like I said, put any comments you have down below, and I will see you in the next one.